Hello, beautiful human. Thanks for clicking on our interview with the Vamps. They have 2 new albums technically out now, Day and Night. Good guys. It's been a while since we saw them, and we kind of dived into everything, how they started, where they're at now, their personal lives. Please watch it and leave your feedback in the comment section below. We also have a podcast, link in the description. And if you could, subscribe. Okay, let's get to this interview.
Let's do this. Show.
Come on in. Hello. Go in to have a seat.
Yo. What's going on, man?
Oh, yeah, let's do this.
Hello.
Heather, nice to meet you.
What's going on? Good to see you. So it's going to be 2 in the front, 2 in the back.
Hello, how are you?
Oh, the Vamps are here.
This is a nice studio, man.
Oh, thank you.
I remember we saw you a long time ago.
It was New York City.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys came and we had this really tiny studio and we all barely fit and we only had like 2 microphones for everybody. It was this whole thing.
Yeah.
Wow, look at all of you. I'm pretty freaking good, man.
How have you guys been?
Good.
Thank you.
Yeah. We got to, when did we get in? This morning. We got in this morning on the bus.
Where were you yesterday?
San Francisco.
Wow.
Well, Tristan, we're happy you're here, though. I didn't know if you'd make it or not.
I'm here. I'm happy and healthy.
What happened? Sick?
I was just ill, sick for about 2 weeks. But it's good to be back, you know?
Congrats on the engagement.
Thank you very much.
Oh, nice.
That's
Clap it up for that.
Thanks.
How old are you?
35. Nah, I'm 25.
Okay, 25. You're already engaged. You're locked in with somebody.
Yeah.
Nerves at all?
No, excitement. Yeah, I mean, we've had. I feel like we were pushed into the real world at a young age, you know. So we learned a lot of life qualities quite quickly.
Yeah,
I feel like you know, life's short.
So
I've learned life's
man.
short. So
amen to that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So you're saying this band has really matured you, obviously, because you've accomplished a lot in it's a short amount of time.
100%.
Yeah.
As a human being, business sense, and as a lover.
Okay.
Explain that.
Yeah, question. What have the Vamps taught you about making love?
What haven't they?
I mean, this is the first set of tours, which, by the way, you're already on, is this your second tour this year? Or has it just been one long tour since, April or something?
It's kind of been 5 years of one long tour. We did the UK at the beginning of the year, and then we did Europe, and then we had a bit of time off, and then we come here. We did Mexico at the beginning, Korea at the end of this one. So it's busy, man, but we love it. You know what I mean? It's fun.
But you've been touring like this and at this rate for a long time. I mean, beyond doing your own headlining thing, you've opened for some of the biggest names in music, and you've done not tiny shows. You do arena-sized shows when Taylor Swift was going to the UK, and Selena Gomez, and some incredible venues
lucky.
too.
Yeah, very lucky, man. And I think the good thing about supporting those people so early on in our career is you learn a lot, you know what I mean? You kind of get to watch those people for 5 nights in a row, 6 nights in a row, and you just kind of take in as much as you can, because there's a reason that Taylor's got to the place she has, so you kind of trying to learn from that. And yeah, we're very grateful that we got to do that in the beginning of our career.
Even though if you look at it from 15,000 feet above, it looks like a short amount of time since the band started, but it really has been a lot. We're talking about jam-packed everything and constant everything. What do you learn from the beginning? What's one major lesson that each one of you has learned since, when did it start, 2012?
Yeah. Is that when we and you met?
Yeah, 2011, I think me and Brad met, maybe. So coming up 7 or 8 years.
Starts with the 2 of you through YouTube, right?
Yeah.
You're the first one signed.
The first Vamp, yeah. Trying to think what I've learned. I think it's important to try and take things day to day is quite a big thing. I know loads of people say it, but it's quite daunting when you can see that you're away for 35 days away from home. But then if you take every day as it is and pick something really that you enjoy every day, then it's easy to kind of get through a block of time if you're away from your parents or girlfriends and stuff.
Yeah.
You're about to have a relationship now too. Or you're in a relationship.
Are you proposing?
About to start.
This is the moment.
Is this
Sorry. I'm about to propose. But you're in a relationship you have a girlfriend. You guys have been together for a while too.
Yeah, same time as Tristan and Anna pretty much, yeah.
You're next engaged?
Maybe next year, yeah, who knows.
Does she come on the road?
She's here actually.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Not actually here, but
Locked in the car.
Come on in.
You keep her in the car. Hope you cracked a window.
Is everybody in relationships?
These two are.
These
These
guys.
two aren't.
Ooh, comment section's
These
gonna love
devils.
that. Oh man.
Shredders.
What is that dynamic like on a bus?
It's fine, man. Like, I think because we've been together, like you say, for so long, and everyone's been in relationships and out of relationships at different times, and everyone's just kind of gets used to it, and the dynamic's very good in the band. Like, we all get on as friends, but everyone's very welcoming to other people coming into the fold, and all the crew's really nice. So it's kind of like a family atmosphere, and all our families are very close. All our friendship groups outside of the band get on well, so it's like everyone just kind of mucks in and has a good time.
Which is like, that's the universe working in your favor and also telling you that this whole thing was meant to be.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of situations where bands come together and like, no, none of those things actually end up working out from the families. It's even like the dynamic going down on the bus.
Yeah.
But the story is nuts. So you get signed to a music manager, you find Brad over YouTube. How does he like reach out to you, and what is that like? Is it a DM? Is it an email?
It was a Facebook message.
Oh, sketchy.
Yeah, I know. But I'm not very good at social media and like replying on time.
He's more quality, not quantity.
Yeah.
Good to know.
There you go. But James messaged me, and about 3 weeks later, I was like,
Wow.
yeah, cool. Yeah, we could, yeah, I'm about. And then we started writing songs together. And he came to my house first. And it was kind of like, because James is from about 3.5 hours away from where I live, so we're other ends of the country. And that's quite a weird thing to like meet for the first time at like a train station and go, okay, we're going to write some songs now. When you're like 16, that's quite a weird thing, but it was instant, you know what I mean? We got on very well, we liked the same music, sat and played FIFA for about 4 hours before we did anything. And then just wrote some songs. And I'd never written songs with anyone else before, like I'd only written songs in my bedroom by myself.
Do you show him songs that you already had written, or do you just write from scratch and not even like open up like that?
I think the reason that James had messaged me is because there was a song that I'd put on my YouTube that was my own original song, Loaded Gun.
Tune.
And he like took an interest into that, and then like I kind of played him some other demos, he played me some demos of his, and then we were just like, let's just start from scratch, and we started writing.
And what did you think when you first saw Brad?
Is he 6 years old? Is probably what I first thought.
Like I'm two school years older than Brad, so I was like 18 and Brad was like 16 then. I think when you're at that age
It's quite a big
in
jump.
school, it's actually quite a big like age gap.
Yeah.
So like I was a bit nervous because I didn't really like associate, like not in like a mean way, but when you're in like kind of that year at school, you don't really associate people younger or older than you. So I was really nervous going into like a new thing. I don't know. I can't really remember the first kind of feelings. I don't know. Like I was so nervous. Like,
Butterflies.
Yeah.
He still gets nervous.
Goosebumps.
All this imagery.
Okay, so the two of you realize that there's something here, and the universe worked out, and obviously together you can make something special. And then you go to Facebook again to find Tristan.
No, Tristan found
YouTube.
us.
No, I knew
He did, yeah. He was,
Okay, so you play hard to get, and you're desperate.
it's a balance.
Yeah, how do you even find them? How do you know that they're doing something?
Writing with a mutual friend of James's,
Yeah.
who James didn't work with, like it didn't work out, and then and then he told me about these guys, and I was like, it's pretty cool. So I added James, and
The first thing we saw of Tris was like he was doing this like drum cover, and he was in a drum competition when he was younger. And like one of the main things he says when he gets interviews, he's like, yeah, I don't really want to be like tied down to one band. I want to be in a lot of different bands. And we're like,
I still don't.
It's so funny.
Yeah, it was hilarious. I was thinking about this the other day whilst I was ill. Like how weird like our first week was, like how funny it was when I met Brad. We
What did
couldn't
you do?
stop laughing. Remember?
Oh, at James's house.
We
Yeah,
officially got
yeah.
kicked. No, not kicked out, but banned to stay in a room together.
We
at
were-
James's
by
house.
James's parents.
We wouldn't shut up.
James's
I was
mom
so-
came in halfway through and was like, you boys need to quiet down now,
There was
otherwise
so
you're going to be
much sexual
separated.
between the three of us that they couldn't hold it in.
It's cute.
A lot of excitement. It was funny.
Where's the other guy?
Can't no reason.
I just appeared.
Oh, no.
Yeah, no.
No, I know. We'll get to you. I want to know about the poor guy that introduces you that James ditches. Because
I just popped out of nowhere.
No, Phil.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Sorry, Phil.
No, Phil, he's awesome. Like, he's a really good musician as well, a bassist. I played. He was in another band with me. So I was in a lot of bands.
Wow.
At this point. This was my. This was why
Experimental
I was like, I
phase.
don't want, it's my experimental phase. I don't want to just be tied down to one band. But then I found the right band for me, and yeah, the Vamps, obviously, 100%.
There's not like another band in the background. You're not living like a double life.
I'm in Slipknot.
Yeah.
And then, okay, so now we get to Connor. How do you end up here? Mutual friends?
We met some
YouTube
weirdos
again.
as well.
Oh yeah. So we'd been a three for like 6 months, a year maybe, and then we got signed off because we started doing covers, and then we got signed. But we always knew we wanted to add a bass player. And like Trish said, we met a lot of bass players, and we were like,
It's so funny.
And I originally didn't want a bass player. I was like, it works, it's working, can't change it. But then obviously we met.
Yeah, we saw a video of Con, and a lot of he was doing YouTube videos and covers, and then also playing bass covers of songs that like we all loved, and we were like, this guy seems cool. So
That
then we
Blink
met.
182 cover did it, didn't it?
Blink 182 cover,
For me,
yeah.
it was done deal. I messaged you, remember? I was like,
Yeah.
oh my god, it's
Let's go,
amazing.
yeah.
The pink cover was my favourite.
Oh,
that's
don't look at that. No one go and look at that. It's awful.
Pink? So bad.
Like, what song? So what?
It's a good song.
It's a good song,
good
but not a good cover of it. Yeah.
You didn't
No
sing it though.
singing.
You
I
did the
didn't, no,
guitar
you
cover.
Yeah. It was, don't look at it.
It's still on the internet.
Yeah, it is.
Isn't it crazy that like covers is really where you all started from the public's perspective? Obviously, you're writing your own music behind the scenes, but the public saw you guys as cover people, and you were able to take these covers, really do something special, and rearrange them. And now, I mean, look at your lives now. The internet
it's mad.
and covers. It's crazy.
Yeah.
At first, I didn't understand why you put covers on Meet the Vamps, and I was like, "And did you put a cover? Did you put a One
Cecilia.
It was Cecilia.
Well, you did
was the one.
Cecilia, but did you put a One Direction cover?
No.
We did.
Nah,
We did. I think we did like B sides and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
But we never. But I don't think we put covers on the album. Cecilia was like the sample cover that we did.
And you did your own thing with it. You
Yeah.
rearranged the
Yeah.
positions of the lyrics,
We
right?
wrote
Yeah.
the verses.
And the pre.
Pre. And then the chorus was a bit different, but it had the original chorus in there, but it was obviously re-sung by Brad.
The coolest thing was Paul Simon's daughter came along to a show once.
Wow.
And she was like, "Yeah, we listen to you in the car all the time." And we were like, "Rewind, what?" And they were like, "Yeah, we've got your album on in the car all the time," which was so cool.
When you would approach a song to cover, how would you tear it apart, or what was like your one specialty that you knew you can add to a song to make it your own?
I think we established what we wanted to sound like pretty early on, before we were even like necessarily like writing for an album. So when we were doing the covers, we were approaching them like they were our own songs, you know what I mean? So we wanted to do the acoustic thing, and we wanted to focus on harmonies, and then we wanted to make sure that we like worked the drums in an interesting way, because Trish is a fantastic drummer. And there was like we did a cover of Taylor Swift 22, and that was the first one. That was the one that Taylor saw and then took us on tour with her. And it was like very acoustic, very harmony driven, and then Trish was playing on pots and pans and like a lunchbox, and that was the kind of thing that we wanted to do, just stuff a bit different that caught people's ears.
And also the things that need to be done to go viral.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, and like we get asked a lot, what should we do? Like from young musicians and aspiring songwriters and musicians, like, what advice do you have? And we always say like a good way to catch people's attention is take something that they know, but make it feel like a completely different song, and put your own DNA into something that they know.
Do you think the art of a good cover is dead?
No, I don't think so. I still think it's...
I feel like you still get a lot, still small amount of real good ones, but I feel like so many people do it now. It's much harder. I feel like our advice now would be find a new way to do. The Vine, Shawn Mendes.
Yeah.
Vine did Vine. That was his cover version. It was on a different social media platform, but I feel like YouTube, it's everyone's go-to now, and I feel like it's almost like unoriginal now. So I feel like if you do something different, which is also new, I think that's it. That's quite cool.
Different is key, and I also think people crave authenticity, and they really want a story now more than ever.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And like good vocals are awesome, and cool arrangement is obviously cool arrangement, and it's gonna grab somebody. But I don't know. It's like when you want to build a personal relationship with somebody, you want heart and you want soul in lyrics.
Yeah, definitely.
But would you all give? You said.
I think the covers is like a method of getting to that, because I think it's like Tristan was saying, it's such a saturated market now, and there's so many people coming through that are really good as well. It's not like they're all kind of mediocre. There's so many talented people, and when you watch like talent shows and TV shows, it's such a shame. I get so upset because you see these insanely talented people, but because the level of competition's so high, they kind of fall by the wayside. So I think the covers was a method for us to connect with people and then tell our story after that, and then be like, right, we've got your attention, this is us now, and we can tell our story a bit more.
Would you? It was 5 years ago as well.
Yeah.
And
It was before covers were covers weren't where they are today.
we
Back
have to
then.
give it to Justin Bieber was the original person who did it back in the day. That was 8 years ago. I don't know how many years ago, but we took inspiration
10.
from that. We thought we were late doing it, but I feel like we just got to the end of the cycle. I feel.
You were I think you were the last crop.
Yeah,
I think
I think so. Yeah.
Carmen came a couple years before. Remember them?
I remember them. They were great.
Yeah, they were awesome. But would love to hear from them again too, because they were really original and they did their own thing with it.
You are right though. It takes the next step after that to keep people there. You
That's
are
it.
right, and you need the story, and you need to get that across, which hopefully we've managed to do.
Hey, I'm so sorry to interrupt the interview, but I got to tell you about a movie that I am so excited for. It is called Hellfest. It comes to theaters September 28th, and I'm not going to lie, I wasn't a horror guy before I moved in with my roommate Steph, but she is obsessed with the horror genre, and she is so excited to see this movie too. We're going to be going together. If you want to go, drop your Twitter in the comments section. But Hellfest is worth our time. I'll tell you why. It's from somebody that we trust. It's coming to us from an executive producer of The Walking Dead, so this guy knows what he's doing, and it's hella scary. It's one of my nightmares. A mass serial killer turns this horror-themed amusement park into his own personal playground, and he's terrorizing a group of friends, and everybody in the park thinks it's a part of the show. Like, they're just watching these kids get terrorized. It's really my worst nightmare. And it freaks me out just talking about it, but I want to see it. September 28th, Hellfest comes out. If you want to join me and my roommate, leave your Twitter handle below. It's fun and games going in, but it's hell getting out. Hellfest. It hits theaters September 28th. Go and watch it. Okay, back to the interview. Would you credit One Direction with any of your success? And I say that because of this. You guys came up in a time where One Direction was on the fastest rise. 2012 was the heat of everything they were doing. Focus was on boy bands for the first time in a while. And especially boy bands coming out of the UK.
Yeah.
There was like a different level of focus. And there was a different level of attention, especially from the US audience. Because I feel like you guys came to the US relatively quickly.
Yeah, we did, and we did the Demi collab.
That was a huge
It was
one.
crazy, yeah.
And wasn't that on a beach or
It was
there a fire?
it was in Malibu.
Malibu,
Yeah,
yeah.
it was in Malibu, and that was like our first time. We were like little boy. We were speaking about this the other day, and it was like, so we'd gone from playing in Tristan's garage to then writing a few tunes in like a barn in the UK, this big studio that we did a lot of the album in. And then there was a song we did with a US guy, and then he was like, oh yeah, like, I've asked Demi to cut the second verse. And we were like, what? That's insane. So, and then we got our vocals back, and she was amazing. And then that was kind of the start of it for us, and that kind of really started taking off in the US a bit more.
It's funny you mentioned the similarities between the One Direction thing, because the person that wrote Somebody to You with us was Savant. He wrote What Makes You Beautiful, One Direction. So it's like,
Was it Savan?
Yeah.
Yeah, Savant.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And by the way, I don't compare in sound at all. I only compare in the fact that you are literally men and you come from the same territory of the world. And by the way, that is enough of people. That's enough for people to be like, oh, let's give this our time when we might not have given it our time before. Because you want to know what's going to be big, because you want to be on the cusp every time.
Of course, yeah.
Demi Lovato, I mean, that feature, huge for you, like you said. Do you talk to her after that, or do you just cut that song and then, or did you ever talk to her at all?
we love Demi.
We did, yeah. It was like, I think it happens a lot now. A lot of people do tunes together and then never meet or speak.
Yeah, right.
It's like they're in LA, they're in London, and then it just happens. And that did happen initially, and then we met up with her like 6 months after the song was released. and saw her and got to kind of catch up. And she was in London. We went and had a chat with her at a hotel.
We played Ellen as well, didn't we? With her.
Played Ellen together,
nice.
yeah, which was
Cool.
awesome. And yeah, it was a very surreal thing for us. But we've maintained a good relationship with her, and she's amazing. Yeah.
You always bump into each other like all these other artists as well at shows. Where we saw her in Mexico.
Oh, nice.
About 6 months ago. It's
But,
cool.
by the way, like, what a crazy life y'all live. Like, you could just bump into Demi Lovato in Mexico.
Yeah, it's mad.
That doesn't suck.
It's a good vibe, yeah.
Question: do you really prefer baths over showers?
Depends on the mood and the vibe. Do you know what I mean? Like after a show, bath time. Yeah, like you getting in the bath. But mornings, I wouldn't get a bath in the morning. I don't think anyone does.
No,
Is that
no.
a thing?
I haven't taken a bath in 15 years.
Really?
Probably longer
dude.
than 15 years.
You're missing out, man.
Treat yourself.
Okay,
yeah.
but
You have a long day, you jump in the bath, man.
what about lying down in the bath whilst the shower's on?
Oh.
The twist itself.
Okay, that's nice. But I also feel like that's like at my worst. Like after a really rough night, I'm in a ball in the shower
It's like
with
3
water
in the morning. Yeah.
Yeah, pool of vomit in the corner, or heartbreak.
Yes.
I'll let you know how it goes. I'll dive on in. Okay, we have an album out right now, Day and
do.
Night. Well, technically, okay, would you consider this one album or would you consider this 2 albums?
A big album.
A 2-part album. So yeah, 1 album.
Isn't there a third part too? Isn't there like some extra tracks?
We did with
there
both
is.
sides of the album, because all of us write songs. We all come from very like different musical backgrounds. So Con loves his pop punk, Tristan's into his hip hop, James into his country. I kind of like my indie music. So all of us have kind of like different creative outlets. So the extra tracks is a way of the fans, like we say, building the story, and the fans kind of hearing each member's what they listen to and their style of music.
Cool.
How does that work when you all enter the studio? Do you divide and conquer, or do you go in all at once with writers? Like, what is the process like?
It's all different, isn't it? It's always different.
Yeah, it's changed so much over the past like 5 years, because like you say, when we started out, we're very young, and you're in rooms with people like Savan who are like just like
He's a
gods
god,
in
yeah.
the songwriting world. Yeah. So you kind of leave it to them, but as of like the past 2 albums, I feel like we've kind of grown into ourselves a bit more and where we want to be as songwriters and producers. And like the last album, the songs that we produced entirely ourselves and wrote entirely ourselves. And like there's an EP we're working on now that is entirely produced by us and written by us that will be coming out pretty soon. And so it's like we're behind the scenes, we're working on that and working on the craft. And I think you've got to do, and you've got to kind of work on yourself. So hopefully we can get to a point where everything we can produce ourselves and write ourselves.
Is that the goal?
Yeah, 100%. Because
Dude, that's cool.
yeah,
And also, it keeps it fresh for you guys, and you got to keep challenging yourself.
yeah.
You can't just coast on
Yeah.
autopilot.
No, not at all. And the weird thing is, like, you always have the vision of what you want stuff to sound like, or where you want the band to go, but you don't necessarily have like the tools in your toolkit to make it happen yourself. So you need the help from other people, of course you do, and then you learn from them along the way. And when you're in with Savan and the likes of, you're just learning, man. You've got like a notepad, you're like, yeah, you did that.
I'm still always learning.
It's the
Always
best
learning.
school.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. You'd be silly to come into this game at 17 and just think you know everything, because you just won't last. Like that's the reality of it. Like it's a craft. Songwriting is a craft. Production is a craft. You just can't come out of school and just know it 100%. Well, I don't know anyone who does. You know. So it's good to learn and kind of do it yourself. And every album, just do a little bit more, and you know, in the 10th album, I'm sure we'll still be working with other songwriters just because we love it. You know, we enjoy learning from other people, and there's always that new kid that just knows something that's just crazy, and it's cool to learn from that person.
But that's the most exciting, right?
Yeah,
Like this
yeah,
idea
yeah.
that every day really is different, and the constant evolution does keep it fresh, and it keeps you on top of your game. And there's,
Yeah.
you could be comfortable, right, in your bank account and like be like secure in the fact that you have a house and stuff. But like being able to keep learning allows you to keep taking risks too.
100%. And that's why like songwriting's the best thing in the world, because it's not every session is different, and every person you work with has got a different approach and a different style of doing it and a different creative process. And that's why when you go into the room with new people, it's never boring. Even if you don't get a great song out of it at the end of the day, you've got a new sample pack. Do you know what I mean? Like little things like that make it worth it every day, and it's the best.
So what do you learn about music from creating Day and Night?
Ooh,
I mean, this was so different. Night, you worked
Yeah.
with a ton of DJs.
yeah.
You know what is interesting actually, like Night, especially with Matoma, Martin Jensen, like these bedroom DJs. You know, I can't see it. These bedroom DJs, like it's crazy because we sent that to Matoma, and it's our biggest song today.
Yeah.
So, but it was created in his bedroom. Like he's created that he created the lead synth in his bedroom, so and that's cool because you don't need a massive studio. It's nice to have a massive studio, but that was cool learning from these people who are just super creative and have learned. It's the new generation who have learned from Ableton, Logic, Pro Tools, all these things from bedrooms, and it's cool just to learn from them because we're at the same age as them, and we want to kind of be as good.
And it's a unique fusion of sound that way, because I mean, you guys have obviously your own thing and a very special sound and live music, but
Yeah.
they couldn't be more opposite from live music.
Yeah, but it's fun to take that into a live setting.
Yeah, how do you
Because it's
transcribe
so
it?
different, and it's like being in the club but on stage. For us, it's wicked. So the first, like you say, so Night was very DJ influenced and very dance influenced, and that was, I don't think any of us saw us going into that world. Like
How'd you get there?
All Night started out as like it's a very singer-songwriter-y song when you strip it back.
All night,
No
sleep. Yeah,
But the
even
verses, like sometimes I tend to look like they're very singer-songwriter if you just sit down and play them on a guitar. And then you add the dancey element into it, and it completely changes the song. And I think that's what's great about production at the moment is you can kind of write a song as a song, and then it can go anywhere. So we had that song, and All Night was the song that everyone kind of got excited by, and we wrote the rest of the album in that vein. So that influenced a lot of the album.
So do you write the album and then give it to DJs to do their thing with?
It differs song by song. So like All Night, we wrote it with a guy in LA called Frankie,
Okay.
who's a dude, and then that got sent to Matoma. But then we're still writing, and you just send them off song by song, and then you're left with this batch of songs, and you kind of cut down, and then you make an album out of it, and that's where we're at. But you go there, like I say, I don't think any of us saw us going into a dance world at all, but it's been amazing for us. It's been like the biggest songs that we've ever had, and then it also, you can kind of tick it off the list. So when we go into the next half of the album, we're like, okay, what do we want to do now? Where can we go now? Because I think we want to try different stuff all the time.
Kicks off live as well, and
Yeah.
in the club. Like, woo! God, and when you hear your song in the club, it's crazy.
What are you using back there? Are you using like a pad?
Me, a hybrid kit. So, without getting too specific, I have just like an acoustic normal kit, quite big.
Yeah.
But each drum has a trigger. So every time you hit that drum, it's a natural acoustic sound, but with the triggers which program through my devices and
Cool.
that stuff. Yeah.
So you're
and I
playing.
have sample pads as well.
So it's all from one kit, really?
Yeah, and then you just take the stems. And then you put that sample on that trigger, so it's identical.
Sick.
Yeah.
Are you doing 20 songs on your at your show?
We want to.
It's
Oh
like
my
14,
Yeah,
is it
14,
15, 16?
something like
Yeah.
that.
I think it's about 15.
I mean, we're at like almost 20 between Day and Night, right?
Yeah, 20.
It's a lot of
It's a lot of music, yeah. But we're writing that much. It's not like a stress to put that together. It's like we are writing that much, and we're always in the studio. So it's nice to just get it out when it's written, rather than like having to wait ages to put an album out.
I understand that.
Mm.
It's a release.
Yeah.
What's been the most obvious change and the most obvious difference in your writing skills since Wild Heart? That was the first original you ever put out. You released it twice, by the way. One with the words together and then separate. Which
What was that?
You released Wild Heart twice, and it confused me.
Did we?
You
Maybe
did.
the like.
I didn't know that.
Acoustic
Confused them
version.
too.
It did.
We put
Yeah.
out so many
Yeah.
different versions. Crazy. Like we did the Nashville version of Wild Heart. That was quite
Yeah.
cool. It was really cool.
I did like that.
Yeah.
But then at one point you changed the name from it being Wild Heart together with no space.
Yeah.
And then it became two spaces.
Wild.
No idea.
Heart.
No.
It just
idea.
changed the way I was searching it last night. Sorry. but that's the first original you put out.
That was we released a song called "Can We Dance" first,
Okay.
and then Wild Heart. Yeah.
So since that
earlier.
era, what's been the biggest like obvious difference in your writing skills?
I reckon one thing we do differently now is try not to do obvious chord progressions. So like back, Wild Heart's a prime example, and luckily we love the song and it works, but it's very predictable from a chord aspect. Now when we're writing, like we just spent a week in a studio about 3 weeks ago, and we wrote a song that's just like, it's still a pop kind of guitar driven song, but it's like that we try and go somewhere different in like the middle eight, for example. We go to like a different chord and try and make like a bluesy chord fit, and that's quite a big difference because we literally just didn't know those chords like 5 years ago. So that's probably trying to be less predictable with where a song goes, I think.
That's pretty good.
It's easier to be more honest now, I think, because I think you're more aware of where you're at in your life, and it's easier, and you're getting better at putting those feelings down on paper, because you've got, like I said, you've got the tools at your disposal, whether it's production or songwriting or the ability to put in chords that you didn't know before and express a feeling. I think that's where we've kind of grown most of all, as well as that.
Sorry to interrupt the interview, but I got to tell you about canvaspeople.com. We all have those amazing photos that we love. We want to keep these photos forever, but they're sitting on our phones. They're sitting on our computers. Bring them IRL. Make them real. Make them so you can touch them. Canvas People, they want to do it for you. You send them your photo, and they're going to send you back a beautiful canvas of your photo that is like museum quality. It's going to be ready to hang up. It's 100% legit. It's going to be beautiful. It's going to be a beautiful piece of decoration to go into your house, and it's going to really bring your memory to life. Canvaspeople.com, they want to hook you up with something for free so you can try it out first. They'll give you a free 11 by 14 canvas. That's free. 11 by 14 canvas. Send them a photo. They'll send you back your photo real, like you can touch it and stuff. This is a $69.99 value, and you're getting it for free. All you got to do is use my code Zach at checkout, canvaspeople.com. Use my code Zach, ZACH, canvaspeople.com. Let me know what you think. Do you take lead on lyrics?
It differs. It differs a lot, to be fair, but what would you boys say? Do you reckon?
Yeah, you go. Yeah, you go.
Yeah.
Yeah,
To be modest, but yes.
Yeah, no, you guys like to, we like to be in control. We each have our different kind of strengths, so one will be better at lyrics, one will be better at production, the other instrumental, you know, so it's kind of, yeah, we definitely are hands-on with everything. But if we've got another top liner and the thing that recommends something like this and it's cool, and then we'll take it, you know.
Got it. Going in with things, or
Song
going
is
in
king. Song is king.
Amen.
Yeah.
Are you going in with ideas, or are you just going in blank?
Yeah, always going in with ideas, or like lyrics or melodies or a track idea. Like the song, we went in the studio, just us four, the other 3 weeks ago, and the song that we wrote in the day, and it started from just a beat that I had, like a track that I'd made like a week before that.
Cool.
And then we just kind of went in and Con played. I just left it on loop and left Con with the bass, and I went out the room for like 5 minutes and then came back, and Con was like, "What do you reckon to this?" And I was like, "That's sick." yeah. So that, and then we started writing the song off the back of that.
Is that what you prefer? Do you prefer just the four of you?
Now I think so. Yeah, because I think we've almost gone full circle, because I think when you're younger you're very assured of the music that you like, because like for me, my sister and my mum were massive influences on like my music when I was younger, and then you get expert, and then you're like pushed out into the world, and you've got to find out your own thing that you like for yourself, and no one else like giving you CDs. So then you do that, but I've found that I've kind of gone back to the albums that I was listening to when I was like 16, 17, and that's influencing my songwriting a lot more now.
What are those albums?
Like early Arctic Monkeys, a lot of like indie bands from the UK, like Block Party.
Love them.
Wicked band, yeah.
So
man.
good.
But in the sense of like the guitars and the percussion in the guitars and the drums and stuff like that. Funnily enough, the new Julia Michaels, you know, The Nervous System, there was a song on that called Make It Up To You that like influenced a lot of, that's not like I just heard that and I really liked it. That wasn't, I didn't know that song 6 years ago.
Yeah.
You didn't call it?
No.
You didn't hear it in a dream one time?
But that was like a big influence. So yeah, you always just find like cornerstones of albums, I think, that influence it.
And you make it your own. Was anybody nervous when you decided to name the first album Meet the Vamps? Literally,
Because the Beatles.
The Beatles.
yeah, Meet the
Yeah.
Beatles.
Yeah.
Meet the, and attached to the Beatles is the most famous 3 words in music.
Yeah.
A lot of people said. Yeah. A lot of people said that, but I feel like it,
It
why
worked
not?
out.
Why
Everything's
not?
cool.
Yeah, we did all right. Yeah. It was an introductory album for us, and I think it felt right. And
We named the tour Meet the Vamps, didn't we? Meet the Vamps.
Meet the
tour.
Beatles. We named the tour Meet the Beatles.
We sold so many tickets.
I'm now just picturing people showing up to your show
yeah,
expecting to see the Beatles.
And they get us.
And they're really pissed. I mean, obviously the album was amazing, but the name it could have gone one of two
Yeah,
ways.
yeah.
Amazing, obviously that's the path, or they could have been like, "What the f- is this?"
Yeah.
When you're that young, though, does it even register? Like, is like a thought in your head?
We mentioned it a couple times, didn't
Yeah,
we? No.
yeah. There was a couple of conversations about it, but it felt like, I mean, there wasn't a negative backlash, in fairness, and there was like, and it because it was our first album, because we were a very young band. I think a lot of people just kind of assumed it was an introductory album to us, so it wasn't too much of a crossover.
Yeah.
I think there was enough time in between too.
Yeah.
I think you're right. It's too soon, guys.
And a lot like the hardcore Beatles fans were probably not listening to the Vamps at that
Right.
time,
There you go.
so they probably
No.
didn't know have a clue.
I think a couple generations have gone by.
Yeah.
Which side are you all the most attached to, day or night?
Nice.
Day.
Day for me.
Yeah.
Musically, day, I would have thought for me. Yeah.
Mm.
I'm on my own.
Connor,
Yeah, day. I think it's more instrument based. So
and then you got
Night.
bass guy over there with the drums. Yeah, obviously makes sense.
There's more 808s,
Yeah.
hard hitting drums on
That's
the
it.
night.
Yeah.
It just I love like playing all night and middle of night, things like that. And shades on, they just.
Yeah, it's a vibe.
But I haven't like digested day yet, because it's been out, and you have to play the song an X amount of times to realize if it has an effect on the audience or not. So, but I think day's great. It's doing very well live, but night for me, there's some special moments that we've played. A dream for me was playing, headlining the O2 Arena, and we've played all those night songs a couple of times there, and it's like those memories. I think that's the reason why night is my favorite. So
How
it's
nuts is that?
it's mental,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's
So it's going to take next year for the tour to come round for us to play those songs, and I'll be like, well, okay, yeah, day edition.
You get back to me.
Is it weird coming to America now and playing such smaller venues when you're in the UK, you're selling out arenas?
It's cool.
It's refreshing. It's
Yeah.
it's good because I think it's easy. Certainly, the first couple of years of the Vamps, sort of 5 years ago, it was kind of like an upwards trajectory, and like we loved it and everything. But we were so young and quite naive, and it was like awesome, great. But it's nice now that we can almost go back to basics and make sure that we're playing the best we can. Because you can't really like afford to. We played like quite a small venue in Portland the other day, and it's like if I like mess up a guitar solo, then it's gonna sound shit. Like but sometimes in like a big arena or something when you're younger, it's fine. But it's nice to be able to really make sure that you're playing the best you can, and there's that intimacy with the fans that I think is lost a lot of the time with people. Like
Arenas.
if you can only see someone in like Madison Square Garden, you're not really going to have that direct connection. But like these shows on these tours, it's literally like we can touch the fans, and
You're, like, looking them eye to eye.
Yeah,
and
it's-
stuff, and I think that's sick
But make sure you ask first before you touch anybody.
Yeah.
Please.
definitely recommend it.
from the stage.
Which type of show improves your musicianship? Is it the smaller venues?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you can, like you said, you can hear everything. You understand the dynamic more.
Yeah.
Are you guys closer together, I assume?
Yeah.
Physically
Yeah.
close, yeah.
Yeah.
Literally, yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we can.
Yeah, you can.
Who's the smelliest?
Well, I
the
tell you
other
what,
night,
I had a slight wobble. We
Last
went
night.
to Chipotle yesterday, and like I'm vegetarian, so the only thing you can have there is the beans and
Oh,
the thing,
oh, no.
and it was not good.
I felt very sorry for the front row. And like,
I felt so sick as well. It's horrible, man.
What if it was the O2? You'd be the only one who knew.
It would be so good. I'd always do it. But no. I'm not
The
going
entire
there.
There's a
venue
bigger
knew.
budget for that. They have like buckets ready for him and stuff. You know, like there's people. He's got his poo tech. He's got his poo
Disgusting.
tech.
Bucket.
Wow.
Yeah, not good.
Hey, is your solo EP still available?
Hey,
Yeah, you.
Bright as the girl.
No, it's
I saw that the other
funny
day.
actually. It was only about 18 months ago. I was like, oh my god, like why? I don't think I was paying. I don't know how it was still there, but it's on like some random websites that like no one uses anymore. Like it's not on iTunes anymore. I don't think.
You're not getting paid.
But I've not. I wouldn't know. I've not looked in about 6 years. Like,
we got to check out that paperwork.
yeah, you imagine. I don't know, man. I honestly don't know.
Really, secretly, that's your biggest selling album of all time.
Yeah,
And we all don't know.
No one knows. Yeah.
Nobody's keeping track.
Move My Way's on that though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So one of the songs on Meet the Vamps is on his EP.
Is on that, yeah.
The original demo.
15 years old. Sound bloody awful.
Did you write that song?
Yeah.
100%.
I was 14, I think. Yeah.
Wow. Okay, what was the first song you ever wrote?
God, no, he's testing me. I mean, the first song that was, I suppose, serious was "Move My Way" for the band. But we all have those songs. So, like, the nice thing about us when we came together is we were all songwriters originally before that. So all four of us had ideas and little things that we brought to the table. Meaning that the Vamps' first album was like kind of, we were able to actually take things from our independent lives and put it together.
Cool. I mean, it's pretty. Your whole story is crazy to me. It's been really cool to watch too.
Cheers,
Thank you, man.
Cheers.
No, yeah, it's been a roller coaster. It's been cool. It's nice to come back to the States, like James was saying, because it feels like even seeing you feels very like full circle, and it kind of reminds us how much we've grown, and it reminds you know what I mean? Because I remember seeing you like
Dude,
4 years ago or something like that.
it had to be right 4 years ago, 5 years ago.
Yeah,
Maybe,
you
yeah.
guys came when
Yeah.
you were just like coming over here for the first time.
Yeah.
You remember how bad my hair was back then?
No.
And do you know how bad my hair is now?
Yeah, who's like? Is it flesh colored or is it pink?
We didn't know Chase had done this.
Yeah, this is a surprise.
I had some like
You look
Turkish
bald
delight.
from where I'm sitting.
Well-
Turkish delight. I was like, that's a nice colour.
What's everyone's opinions on it?
What do you guys think?
I mean, we've only
It's
had an
like
hour.
this.
Yeah, hold the
It's
pillow
like
next.
that.
It's still digesting. I just want to do something different.
Yeah,
I was
fair
like,
play.
You
know
did
what?
good. You did a good job.
Nutrish is here. Nutrish.
Flesh coloured.
Get a real Slytherin vibe going on.
Malfoy.
Malfoy, yeah.
We'll see you later.
I've always, people have said I'm going to be in Slytherin.
Yeah.
You know.
So now you really just totally took that and
He ran with it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Really embracing it.
You know?
wow. Hey, beautiful human. I'm sorry to interrupt the interview, but if you're in the market for a brand new mattress, Purple Mattress is totally worth your time. They know what they're doing. Developed by two brothers, they have 30 years invested in the cushion industry. Plus, this thing was developed by a rocket scientist. It doesn't feel like typical memory foam. The Purple Mattress feels like nothing you've ever felt before because it's firm, so it supports you, but it's also really soft, so it's super duper comfortable. Also, it's zero gravity, so it doesn't matter what position you sleep in, the Purple Mattress has you covered. Stomach, side, back, it's got you. And they're really cool to work with. They're going to give you a 10-year warranty. You get a 100-night free trial, so you can try the mattress out. If you don't like it, you return it for free. They'll ship it to you for free, and then if you don't like it, you return it for free. It's so easy. 10-year warranty. I know I mentioned that. Free shipping, free return. Also, they'll give you a free pillow. A free pillow with the purchase of a mattress. All you got to do is use the code ZACH when checking out. ZACH. Use it when checking out. PurpleMattress.com. Totally worth your time if you were looking for a mattress. Also, right now, they're giving away a whole bunch of other goodies for free site-wide. PurpleMattress.com. Go try it out. And if you buy one, let me know if you like it.
Guys, I want to talk about the song For You for no reason other than I love it.
Oh, thank you, man.
Cool.
So what can you tell me about it? Because it's just great.
Thank you, man.
I love that song. I play it on repeat all the time.
So that was the song on the last album that I wrote and produced. So
You did.
Yeah,
Job
yeah.
well done.
Thank you, man. And that was fun because I got like the opportunity to record like live brass. So I got a trumpet player in, and he came and put all the horns on it. And then got to record like a live gospel choir.
Is that an actual choir on there?
Yeah, it is. And at the
Nice.
end, you hear the like ascending BV.
I'm a sucker for a good choir.
Oh, me too.
Who
man.
isn't?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that song had been like I wrote the majority of it about 2 years ago, like a long time ago, and it just sat on my laptop for ages. And the boys and like our manager were like, yeah, there's something really good about that, like you need to finish that. And then when the album started coming around, I was just like, yeah, like let's spend a bit of time on this. And then got all the organic elements of it, which was like the gospel choir, the live piano that I got to play on it. And yeah, it was fun to produce. It's cool. So that was like my little baby when it got.
now it's my baby.
Where do you seek inspiration from? Do you seek it from your reality? Like, do you go out and live life and then take notes on it, or
yeah?
Do you?
Yeah, I think you've got to make it feel, like you say, authentic and real. But a lot of it comes from personal experience, especially on the album. When we're writing for like we've done bits of writing for other people, and then like I did a Spotify camp the other week, which was really super fun. And there you can kind of toy around with like stories a bit more, because you're with people who are like, it's quite hard to kind of pour your heart out to like 3 people that you've just met and then write a tune. So that's where you can have a bit more fun and kind of come up with a concept.
You did a Spotify camp?
Yeah, like I got luckily got invited along to Ina Roldson is a Secret Genius ambassador.
Cool.
For Norway, and I got invited along. Like, we know the guys at Spotify really well, and they just said, like, do you want to come down and write some tunes in Norway for 3 days? And I was like,
okay,
fine by me.
Like, no, thank you. That sounds
sounds
terrible.
awful.
Yeah.
And all those records would be for somebody else.
Yeah, which is it's kind of mad. Like, we've all done that.
Elton
like Constant,
John,
Elton John.
Jay-Z's got cut on Jay-Z's new album soon.
An honor to be in your presence.
Yeah.
Wait, you have a cut? You've written for other people?
No, I've just like produced for like people's bands and stuff that
Well,
I
you-
know or stuff.
You
Yes,
have
he
2
has.
signed to your label right now, right?
We do, yeah.
By the way, they have a record label, Steady.
Steady. Yeah.
Title and New Hope Club.
New Hope Club.
Yeah. New Hope Clubs are the boys that we're really
we'll see
working
them
with
soon.
at the moment.
Yeah, they're on tour with us.
Yeah.
They're cool.
They're sick, man. They're really good.
What? Okay.
They're like a mini version of us. Like 3
Except
Ks.
they're really tall.
Yeah, they're really
I
tall.
was thinking
Yeah.
physically they were very tiny. Such a small.
And here's New Hope Club.
Pull them out of your little pocket.
You don't see them as competition? Or do you just like
No.
own the competition?
You got to create the competition.
and then own them.
There you go.
Now we love working with our label, EMI, Universal EMI, and we take inspiration from them. We spoke to Ted, the head of EMI, and he's like the most inspirational hour we've ever had, and we just wanted to create something for ourselves in partnership with them as well. So we just created Steady Records, and then we found New Hope Club. We saw the similarities with us, and then we took them on a tour, and they come everywhere with us, and they're cool dudes, and we like their music. So there's no pressure as well. We just make music, and we just enjoy it, and they enjoy it too.
I like that.
Mm.
I'm going to start buying up other radio shows.
There you go.
Take them with me wherever I go.
That's a shout.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
You guys have a song with Machine Gun Kelly, right?
Yeah.
What do you think about the MGK Eminem?
I've seen it.
The beef.
Update me with the beef.
You haven't
So-
heard any of it.
I've heard of it. I was ill though.
So was it, correct me if I'm wrong, was it Eminem called out MJK on
Yes, Kamikaze.
Kamikaze, and then MJ, I saw, is it Devil? What's the
Rap
name?
Devil.
Rap Devil.
Rap Devil,
Rap
that was it.
Devil,
And I saw that. And then Eminem just released, what was
Kill
the
Shot.
Kill Shot. Yes,
Yeah.
they've been going back and forth. It all started with Machine Gun Kelly, like 4 or 5 years ago, made a comment about Eminem's daughter calling her hot.
Right.
Oh.
And so they've been going back and forth. I just assumed that you guys would know about it because you worked with them.
It's a big,
Of
like,
course,
American
we
thing, I think,
we know
isn't
of it, yeah, but we haven't spoken to them about it.
No, even call Eminem up and be like, yo, what's the deal, bro?
Yeah.
We've been too busy
Yeah,
trying to
probably
figure
not.
out Triss's hair.
That's right.
They have their own beef going on?
What?
You have your own beef going on.
With
Yeah.
Machine Gun Kelly?
No, with your hair.
With your hair.
Yeah, it's getting crazy up here. It's thinning out as well. I need it thin. It's so thick.
That's-
Like, whew. Yeah, it's crazy. But back on the Machine Gun Kelly, we that was really cool and surreal for us to work with him.
How does that happen? Do you guys just contact him and we're like, yo, we need you?
We've still not met him, which is
Oh, really?
weird.
Really?
It's one of
Yeah.
those. It's one of those, but it's cool because it was like Danny, Danny Vila, he wanted to remix a song we wrote for our album, but it didn't make the cut because it just wasn't right. It wasn't the right sound for our album, but it was cool for Danny's, and so he took it, he heard it, he remixed it, and then we were like, let's add a feature, let's get Machine Gun Kelly on it. He's smashed it. He's so cool.
Do you guys give him any guidelines? You're like, yo, just take this.
Do your thing.
You just do your
He
thing.
smashed
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's great.
Are we going back to Christmas music this season?
Oh, I don't know about that this year.
People were asking.
People want it.
They want some original Vamps Christmas records.
They were fun. They were fun.
Slaying in the snow.
Slaying in the snow. The weird thing was, we wrote that by a pool in America in like the boiling hot sun, and trying to get in the Christmas mindset whilst you're like tanning is so hard to do.
It's awesome.
Yeah. Maybe next year, not this year. We're working on an EP, so like a 4 or 5 song EP, and there's a song on there that like we'd love to get out by Christmas, but again, because we're all producing it, it's just taking a bit of time, and so
And you just released an album in July.
yeah, yeah,
And you already have another tour scheduled for next year, the Four Corners tour.
correct. Yeah.
Busy bees.
Busy.
Yeah.
It's fun though. I think it doesn't feel like work, so it's a lot of. It's just fun. Do you know what I mean? It's not hard work to go out and do it.
How did you guys team up with the NFL? Because I look at you and you don't seem like guys who would enjoy the NFL.
What are you trying to say, dude? What are you trying to say?
We like just European football, you know what I mean?
We're not talking about like
Soccer,
Soccer, yeah.
They kind of got in contact. We'd been to see a few NFL games in the US, but they just kind of got in contact with our people, and we were like, that sounds
Okay,
fun.
that's cool.
Yeah, let's do it. That's a good vibe.
Who picked the Browns?
Jason.
That's James.
Is that me? Yeah.
Why would you do that to yourself?
Well, NFL's actually like happening in the UK a lot more. So like the past couple of years, like a lot of the teams come over and then play like games in like Wembley, which is sick. So
They
like
sell out Wembley. And
Yeah, it's
Wembley
like
Stadium.
massive. And I
Oh, the
think-
Eagles are playing the Jaguars there this year.
Dude, the Jets played there last year?
Yeah.
And I think a lot of like people that go to like uni in the UK really like it. It's like a thing. So I think it's definitely a growing kind of market. But sadly, the growing market is not one that I've been part of recently, and therefore I don't know a single team. So I trusted my manager to pick a great team, and
He was just effing with you.
Yeah.
and they get to win a
He's got-
game, I believe. aren't
Yeah, they
this
haven't
season?
won in a year and a half.
No.
It's a long time.
Well,
So I saw you with that. I was like, what? Why? Like, there's 32 teams and you picked the Browns.
Blame Joe.
He lives in Chipotle.
Yeah.
I remember that conversation. You were like, I don't care, just get a good team. And he's like, I've got you, don't worry. Yeah, good.
Not good, is it?
Oh, the Vamps. Day and Night is the album. It's out right now. A new EP, hopefully one of the songs out by Christmas.
Hopefully.
Fingers crossed. Yeah, fingers crossed.
Do you ever get scared that you're releasing too much music too fast?
Sometimes. Yeah, sometimes, but it's what we want to do. So, yeah, we're going to do it.
Do what you want to do.
Yeah.
I appreciate all of you for stopping by here and giving us your time.
Thanks, man.
We appreciate you.
Yeah.
Haven't seen you in years.
It's been too long.
You're rarely here. Anything else you want to say to the people before you leave?
Just make sure that you have yourself a great day. Make sure that you tell someone else to have theirself a great day.
Oh,
And make sure you have a great day.
Yeah.
Love it.
flesh-colored hair. Thanks for that.
Okay.
I really hope you enjoyed that conversation. If you did, please subscribe and also check out our podcast. There's a link in the description, and also comment and like and do things. Other interviews are on the screen somewhere, so click them. Thanks for watching.